care and send teachers and implement a strong referral plus feedback loop between health and education, and pilot a teleconsultation support for priority atolls, monitor outcome and scale up on that. Monitoring and evaluation are essential. Start, follow-up, completion rate, functional outcomes such as mobility, communication, and family satisfaction and access indicators. These data support sustainability and resource planning. So in conclusion, early intervention, I must say, is achievable in small island contexts. Multidisciplinary and intersectoral collaboration is essential. Building on existing programs makes change realistic and sustainable. And Maldives experience I have shared. So now for questions and maybe inputs, because I'm not very much experienced in early intervention. I was introduced to early intervention with Professor Samanmali during my training. So I have actually learned a lot from this conference, and I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Dr. Samahat, for presenting a comprehensive and contextual perspective on early intervention practices in Maldives. May I request the moderator to conclude the session?
Maybe we can have questions or comments if at all you have. I think we give this opportunity to the audience. If there are questions, please.
What is the availability of professionals there, therapeutic professionals, and how many colleges do you have in Maldives which actually train these professionals?
I must say we have none.
Okay, so basically they must be relying on
expert.
They go outside and get treated.
Yes.
Okay.
Local therapists are very limited. Actually, if I must count, we have 3 occupational therapists, and speech must be around maybe 7, 10, less than.
Is there any governmental policy to send people on training abroad?
I think we can talk on that. And
Actually, why I'm asking is, when I was in US, there were a couple of Maldivian students, but they came on their own, but they stayed back in US only. They didn't go back. So there should be a governmental policy where you sponsor them, go get trained and come back, you know. Yeah. Otherwise people generally go for the greener pastures and they stay back there.
Yeah, we should develop a mechanism to retain our...
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any other questions? No? Thank you. Then let me summarize. Thank you. First of all, congratulations for wonderful delivery of your talk. Dr. Sharma has highlighted a lot on why early, period brain development matters from intervention point of view, and I was very glad to know that there is even if she said there are lack of resources, etc., but they have already laid foundation of caring for children with developmental problem. You have already got beautiful centers set up there and entry. You have developed schools, and you have at least documented the referral pathway. That's a very important beginning point. And she has also highlighted about services are fragmented, they are not interconnected. Even in very developed, experienced countries, same problem exists. I think what I got out of all these discussion is the nature of the problem in early intervention. All of them are sources. Should they face those problems in lesser amount? And those who are starting, it's a huge amount of problem which is everywhere. Principles of early intervention. What we early intervention policies and program. I think that's something I want to add. Thank you so much for your patiently listening, and congratulations once again for wonderful delivery. Thank you, Dr. Shamar. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request you to felicitate our speaker.
Oh, okay.
Please felicitate.
What's that?
I now request Shri Vineet Singhal, Director, DPWD, Government of India, to join us on the dais to kindly felicitate the moderator. Our next session addresses strategies and interventions aimed at disability eradication, focusing on early prevention, systemic interventions, and inclusive developmental models. May I invite Professor Saman Malik to kindly moderate this session. Our speaker for this session is Dr. Anjan Bhattacharya, Senior Consultant, Developmental Pediatrician, Apollo Hospital, Kolkata.
A bit of sound, if we can hike it up. It's probably not coming up. I was also there at that time talking about the same model, the model that we developed in India, that we presented in the Royal College annual conference that was in Glasgow in 2018. So what I was explaining is that, our life has gone from medical model to social model, like, bichara hai, right? Let's have pity on the child, that model, to the real thing, the science of it, the developmental model. And then things started shifting. So this is where I got reconnected to this huge thing, which is an all-encompassing model, which is called the International Classification of Functionality. That is both in disability and health. I mean, we all function, right? So this is a model which brings a framework which doesn't discriminate between disability and health. It's actually for everybody. We all function on certain domains, and this we have data, we know how impossible is it. Because it's only a semantic, you just change it, and Adidas gave an ad saying impossibility is nothing, and we proved it. So we had not only a child development center, but we had India's first child development center in corporate healthcare setup. Unthinkable at that time. I mean, why would a corporate health would want to do with such a low cost, low tech, human intensive intervention? But they did, thanks to our in Sloan Kettering Hospital, who came down to our child development center. I also had Professor Brent Taylor, who was world's first professor in UCL in community media, because we all have to work together. We can't have this distinction between disability and health. Similarly, we can't have any distinction between government and private when it comes to a child's future. We can't. So we did this. We know that, somebody, again, this is the people who have done it. Everybody said that unmeasurable, India's burden of disability. But it's measurable now. It's so much that we must act. And that is why we need the model that we have developed in India, using all the evidences available in the world. So it is going exponential, as we have already heard so many times. So Indian misery comes from the Indian summary of that, and that if we pull out, it is about 10%. You have already said that. Yeah, it's a global figure almost. But it increases as time goes on a bit. And difference is not in any of these things. These are all our thoughts, that probably it is more here and there. It's not, it's ubiquitous. Just, it says it's a sapiens condition. It's a condition of humanity. And for the first time, we have technology to do something about it. Because we do it. We will come to that. In Eastern India, in any child development center, or whoever calls themselves a child development center, half of them are coming with autism. Boys are more affected, we know that. And these are all local populace mainly. So we were representing a very good group. So we need to now understand from this summary what Indian summer we are having. So this is where I really need that sound.
To a standard structure, universal practice model of intervention called Kata development model. The author is Anjan Pachaman from India. I don't know if I say your name properly.
I'll just all the presenters, because we have got a team who will present. Shreya Ghosh, was our intern and then now is a psychologist who will bring the presentation, and the teacher, Sriyushi Bhattacharya, a professor of Calcutta University.
Hey everyone, what is this Kolkata development model? It's a universal care pathway. It's standard and of any age. This is what the schematic representation of the referrals from OPDs, followed by referrals from communities, and from NICU, other general movement assessments. After that comes the initial contact with the developmental pediatrician, followed by an intensive parent training program of minimum 7 days, followed by which the children or the child goes through screening, followed by routine health checkup, standard assessments, and then the multidisciplinary therapeutic intervention. During this standard assessments and multidisciplinary therapeutic intervention, a goal is set, and after that, multidisciplinary feedback sessions are there. What one of my fellow presenter has presented in her presentation before me, that the whole setting goes on and on when whatever we are doing through this or we are going through this is because we need to ensure that the core needs are met and followed by the discharge plan. So there are a few outcomes of this Kolkata development model. Going through this Kolkata development model intervention, 15%, that is 66 out of 446 children who fail to cope with the mainstream curriculum, children who have severe afflictions or familial social issues of extreme nature. Moreover, we successfully included 85% have done it in an average time period of 8 months only. The 85% were not just children with mild or moderate afflictions. More than half were severely affected at diagnosis using internationally validated standardized assessment tools like ADIR, ADOS, Griffiths, Bailey's, Corners, etc. Parental engagement, a very important aspect of Kolkata development model. So let's see what are the characteristics of the parental engagement. Of the behavior of what his or her child is doing. Next, parents and caregivers face a lot of challenges to tackle their children with special needs. And once they are observant, they should go or they should initiate to seek professional help. Followed by beginning to follow the treatment procedure and then going through the whole treatment procedure, that is the engagement. As we know that the parental engagement is one of the most important ingredients in the success of any early intervention program, this study will aim to see that what are the factors which may influence the parental engagement. Most of the studies in this area are based on outcome of interventions programs. Not much focus is given to explore the factors that are involved in the whole intervention process and the engagement. So our study is an effort towards this direction. The sample that we took were children, were parents or caregivers of 10 children who engaged in the early intervention program of Kolkata development model. The inclusion criteria that we kept were parents who have completed the parent training program and a minimum of 1 multidisciplinary feedback session. The exclusion criteria were that the parents who have just started the parent training program. And in the methodology that we have used,
I think you have got an idea. So basically what we are trying to say is that 85% can go back to mainstream schooling. And this is year on end, this is our second decade. We have done it for 20 years now. Maybe a bit better now. This was 2014 to 2018 data. About 30,000 children who have gone back to their mainstream schooling, who otherwise would have been labeled as one of the NDDs. That is probably the reason why you have got the support from WHO. That link is basically, you will find our model on the web page of World Health Organization. Olaf and our ICF group has been instrumental. The person over there is Dr. Gurpreet Binapal, who also worked in Canada, works in India. He knows with what difficulties we have been able to achieve the impossible. So ma'am, when you think that referral pathways are wrong, don't worry, we don't work with referral pathways. Our model, Kolkata development model, is called Universal Care Pathway for Children with Special Needs. The reason is, in our part of the land, children don't come knowing what referral pathway they're going to come for. They are coming with a problem and healthcare professionals are there to solve it. And we have done it, so this is a model that you can follow. And that is probably why we are thinking about how we can help a very nubile, nascent area where children are still not disturbed too much, that we have heard so much, we don't have to go through the whole hog. There are much simpler ways. So to your answer, Olaf, which I think one of the moderators you have given, is that our therapists are our mouses, uncles and aunts. And that is what a leader has to inculcate in his or her team. Because we can't have that world that we have left that was 6 billion year old rich. But we have progressed. So when we see that this is a progression, we actually understand what is going on. So when our parents come and tell, they feel guilty, right? So we don't immediately start taking the guilt away because they will think that we are pitying them. So no patronization at all. What our model does is that the moment parents say, we both work. The burden at the back, what they are not saying, the silent emotion that is there, is that, we must be guilty. First thing we say that none of our parents give up work. None. And so far this has been true. 20 years on. We do not encourage our parents to give up work. However, thankfully, Indian government now has from 2016 policies from where, if necessary, parents can take some time off. And what we say is that, you can't put it on one parent. If she takes some time off, we'll make sure that you also take that time off next time. And that way you can do gender equality and so many other objectives you can fulfill in one shot. And we have been doing it for the last 20 years. So we are very thankful to WHO, especially the ICF group, to put it up there. We have presented it in EACD, posters also with Lisbeth Siderius. Dr. Lisbeth Siderius is Dutch developmental pediatrician. Olaf knows her very well. I was hoping that she will be here in this conference as well. Because we have been doing this is in London. There was a Greek group who were talking about motor improvement. And we said, yeah, look, this is our also. And we showed the videos. And they were saying, no, they didn't disbelieve that because, they have been doing it themselves. So yeah, there are fantastic groups around the world. We have heard some fantastic stories. Yeah, we see it every day. Our therapists cannot even believe that what is this hula baloo about? Why people are continuously saying, any conference they go to, we have to do that. They say, we are already doing it. And that included Tbilisi, EACD as well, They were talking about a case. My therapist came out and said, sir, why are they talking about? The child was biting, hitting, could not sleep. These things are taken out in 3 months, as you have said, sir. Because technology is there. And that starts with parent training. If the parent training is structured and standard, absolutely magic. So every week I hear parents coming back and saying, but sir, there are so many times, I've been so many places, right? But why do we need technology? It's very important for us to know. We have planned for a child development center as a hospital also, because we want a state-of-the-art center that we need to build up, like, they have done it in Sri Lanka, right? I really look forward to you because you are incorporating something where you can pick up the risk of disability at birth, general movement assessment, and you do optimality scoring as well. We have more advanced GM trained professionals in India, but the thought process is wrong. People say why we should do GM. I can't believe that. But thankfully, Indian Academy of Pediatrics has, in its consensus guideline, put it in, but being flat about it. people are saying, why have you put it? How many people are there trained? I mean, do you throw away an opportunity because you are just starting to take advantage of it? So, countries like Nepal, please do not make mistake. This is a fantastic identification tool at birth, which detects almost everything. Right? You need advanced GM for senior people, and Anganwadi workers can do GM, that is exactly what you are doing. So I really want to do this, because we have gone ahead and with Australian group have actually published this, that if you can detect the risk of disabilities at birth, which your GM can do, then you can do what you are saying digitally, right? You can actually do home-based intervention, which is as good. It's our study. And I was almost going to even, I really was punished. As we say, no good deed must go unpunished. Just to get that study through. The study was supposed to go to Bangladesh, they couldn't do it. And resolve it without the child having to move away from the home ever again. I'm not saying that that is exactly what you do, but the study says, the evidence says that may be possible. So why don't we have two cohorts and compare and see? I can't sit and see where 30,000 children who are getting better. None of our children has ever gone to special school. No disrespect to special schools. None of our children never needed to go to special schools. We can just go and get it done. So Commissioner of Disability is here. He knows our proposal about special. First study that Sir has helped us do was in validation involving Kelaniya University, ma'am, Shamani, your colleague, and 2 universities in Pakistan, 5 centers in India, one of which was in early intervention with our state government university of technology. Ayana Novak is the author along Ljubljana, I think. This is part and parcel. So we should never forget that research, education, clinical delivery are all integral part of a developmental service. You cannot do without. Every practice in developmental pediatrician must do research and must support education in that line. So this is from Sydney. I'm also a MRCPCH examiner. We set communication style. Let's translate it. At every corner of India, this must be the result. So don't say negative things in the name of telling truth. That's your truth. That's not today's truth. Today's truth is that no child needs to go to any special school. The special services should come to the school, which is very easy to do. Low-tech intervention, human resource intensive, which we really need to do. Our countries need jobs, proper jobs. I'm also an examiner where, Dr. Samit Dalwai, under his leadership, we have this fellowship program in IAP, where I was an examiner, and nowadays in Pedicon, I'm moderating sessions where our people are coming and saying, sir, you were my examiner, and I can't believe I've forgotten already.
Did you pass them or no?
They passed because of their merit, because last 2 years I saw such fantastic quality, First time I took it, nobody could tell about importance of nutrition. Next year everybody did. Without prompting. Everybody did. So it's a fast learning. Southeast Asia is a fast learning countries. We have always valued education. Let's do it right. It's not just education, right? Our education must mean something. And it must mean 85% of children must go to mainstream school and play and achieve like any other children. We have a child who you would see, even if you look at the family today, you would say that of course this child will become a criminal. If you take a look at the family, you will tell that. The child cannot hear, the child came non-verbal. That child last year went to Nepal to fight karate, and Bhutanese were champion in everything, but he got silver in his categories. 3 fights he fought. Apart from the Bhutanese, he came back and said, oh, Bhutan is Tunga. Now he's talking, that's what I'm saying. He can't hear. Now nothing succeeds, success. Give them success, they will talk. We do not have one non-speaking child yet, unless they are in that 15% who won't follow. See, we need a cosmos where everybody says the same thing and does the same thing. So your child will definitely talk, your child will read. They have to also succeed in extracurricular activities. That's what we call our successes. And that has been happening for the last 20 years. So thanks all the time. Why not our people should know about it? So thank you, sir, to give us a voice. This is what is doable, and it's all evidence-based, all evidence-based. So we can do it, evidence-based practice, we can do everything. Young people are our hope. So why do we think, we need big dogs to go and represent us all the time? Anybody can do this in this room. All we need is to work together and bring the best of the science together. So that's Megha. Sir, some of you will know, Megha is one of our young members who was presenting about suicide. In 20 years, one of the mothers, who is a very educated person, who has 1 or 2 suicides. I haven't heard any suicide in our child development center. I said, hallelujah. It's a new data for me also. I will say that every time. Yes, why would they? If they have got success, why would they go and do nasty things? They wouldn't. I haven't seen one do. I haven't seen one eat junk food anymore. I haven't got the problem with screen time. Abolish doctor dependency. They are not allowed to be dependent on us by the time the child is going to school. They should go and enjoy a normal life with a quote-unquote normal child. Because children are our future. Let's invest in that. Let's invest in manpower creation. We need jobs. We have now come up with this Skilled IQ Educational Trust, because we are now separating our education from our clinical work, because this is Bailey's Bengali validation. We have been doing Bailey's training. Understand, none of our research is funded. We get no money. We have done all these researches with zero money. So if anyone comes and tells you, oh, I am in private field, I cannot do research, don't believe them from now. And ask yourself, why am I not doing the research? So we know that there is a conglomeration of fantastic people, and we can, take that forward and do it. So fantastic work, sir, collaborating and doing, giving a voice, and this is an Indian innovation which has got so much power. Our therapists can't believe that, when they go to other conferences and they hear so many crying stories, sobbing stories, and they say, why? Why is it necessary even today, after so many years? So that is what it is. So, that national guideline. So thanks for including me also in that. And I also sit in medical legal. Dr. Samir Dalma is also a MD with LLB. This is another area where we need to involve our education going on. So this is social education. This is the person who was taking our photograph in that Barcelona EACD, that lady there, these are all her students now. She's in Pittsburgh. She's topping in everything. She joined as an intern. In 4 years' time, that is where she is now. She's completing her master's, she's getting into her PhDs. We have got others also. Shreya now is in Italy. She has completed her master and has gotten into PhD. So that is a brain drain, but we want to reverse brain drain by having something that people have to learn from us. So this is community engagement. Actually, that is a doctor from UK. We do internships and we go around and do that. This is one of our, you can see known faces here. And the last person is the medical legal person, because that's important. So we have been collaborating for quite some time. We are talking about something called autism from womb to cradle, means perinatology of autism, because you can do fetal GM as well, which may not be allowed in our country because of PNDT Act, but you can detect this even before birth. That's the beauty. That is the power of these tools. So this is Govindaraj sir, who has been very supportive, just like Dr. Ramkumar. This is Dr. Rohitran. All of whom came to this, along with all our presidents from neurodevelopmental chapters, secretaries. Foxy, Dr. Gurpreet was there online, he was in Canada, and this is one of our therapists who is a trainer at the moment, training people around, especially when our ICF talk happens, it is Jewel who talks, I don't. I hardly talk nowadays in ICF talks, right, Olaf? So this is what we are doing, that everybody, we need to take everybody together so that we can actually have a better world. So success, nothing success. We say disability lies only in the eyes of the beholder. Otherwise we have technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhattacharya, for sharing actionable strategies towards disability prevention and eradication. May I request the moderator to conclude the session?
Thank you so much, Dr. Achan, for sharing years of experience and opportunities where you have worked with international collaborators, researchers, and taken groups of colleagues working with you to a different level. Congratulations to you and your team for doing all that work. And as we discussed in the morning as well, disability lies in the eyes of the beholder. So, another round of applause and we conclude this session. Thank you.
We can now take 2 questions from the audience. Any questions?
It's absolutely usual. I don't get questions, people get stunned. I understand that. I totally understand that. But, the couple of questions you might ask, things like, is it scalable? Is it transferable? I mean, you may be very good at doing something. Is it possible to do that? Yes, it is. Because I say this as an MRCPCH examiner of the medical legal group, IEP fellowship. Yes, it is scalable, and that is the beauty of it. That is why you are talking about it. Otherwise, it's my thing. It's not. It's totally scalable. It's very easy to do because we have the technology. That's the beauty of technology. They are doing so much work on family center. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, it was really enlightening. I'm Dr. Hema. I am principal of a special school which is run by Army.
Dr. Vandanaja, see, a special needs school was already talking. Yeah.
So when you said that yes, special, we don't need special schools. I've heard this earlier, and
Is Dr. Rajesh there? Dr. Rajesh said it's one center. That is where we are seeing it. The moment we put it in the population, we'll need you.
Yes.
Got it?
So you were already talking about it, that how scalable it is. But then I find, sir, that there is a real big gap when we talk about normal schools. I mean, normal schools, are they ready? When we talk about inclusion, are those kids ready to accept my kids? Are those teachers ready? So I was there at International Purple Fest Goa, and I must say here, in this forum, that Goa is doing amazingly well. I was stunned by them. They had amazing policies, superb. But then, I'm married to an army officer, so I have been to a lot of places pan-India. I feel there's a bigger gap wherein we are talking about, putting kids. I have 3 kids who are ready to move, but my heart is not aligned. My conscience doesn't allow, because I feel I'll not be doing justice to them. So I would like you to, your insights on this.
So, it's a very good question. Thank you. Very good question. Again, you have to make that distinction between a good center doing good stuff and population scalability, right? I think it is scalable, but in a staged manner. So, when we get our kids ready, we don't want to create sensory room in schools. Why? Because that child has to live in a chaotic world. Dr. Samil was saying, he has to go and be able to do this and that.
Right.
So when we send our children back to school, 2-3 months you have heard, 8 months at the most. So most of the children are going by 2-3 months time. So children don't even miss them. By the time they are there, they don't even no, they just say that हाँ ये वो तो बहुत अच्छा हो गया है. He has developed a lot without bothering why, how, not botheration. They shouldn't bother also. I mean, let's take the stigma away. Let professionals be competent enough to put children back to school where these extra special will not be necessary. What we want Senko program to do is to pick up early. Something in Malay they can do. If you train their teachers, they pick them up. Not everybody has the opportunity to go through their GM when they were born. So we pick them up and treat them, because there are 17 years coming and getting better also. They might not be getting better in 8 months. So they are the one who skews it to the 8-month side, So they might take a year or 2. But by 17 years, who is feeling the need to do something, they are ready to spend 2 years. So they all get better. Because again, advantage of coming to private center is that, they are seeking the service. They are already seeking the service. That won't be applicable to population. That is where you will need special schools and we need to empower them. So yeah. Yes? Please. Okay. So we'll have 3 questions. Alright. They have done it together. You press the buzzer together. Okay, this man first, then you. No. Couldn't hear. You say it, I will tell them.
Yeah, so it's about the universal design approach. So can the universal design approach be a one-all solution for children with disabilities? And do we have any such tools at the juncture like to detect any disability in a child? Because which I'm hearing in last one day and today is about after a child is born, right? So there are interventions and all that. So I'm just thinking about a way how we can prevent this, how we can stop having the disability. So is there any such tools?
Yes,
or
two tools. One we have already discussed, GM. GM picks up all sorts of disabilities. How? So there must be some common origin. Actually, Dr. Arnab made that comment in one of the lectures where he said these are all processing disorders. These are all processing disorders. So GM is picking up processing disorders. They are not picking up cerebral palsy or autism or right. So you understand the physiological basis of why we can have a universal care pathway. So there is a physiological basis of that. The other tool Dr. Rajesh has said, on a population they are already developing the tool to find out early detection of all sorts of disabilities, right? This is how the world is converging. They don't know this one, they may not be thinking GM, but there is a physiological basis.
There are 3-tier cities, and so when you're talking about this scalable model, I don't know what kind of medical portfolio you doctors follows. Because when we working into the cities, like 2 or 3-tier cities or the hospitals, which is far away from the rural area, there is no facilities available. Right from the early intervention, there is no facility, no reference given. Even if the facility is available, doctors are not ready for the concept of multidisciplinary demand.
That is why we should have ICF. We should have ICD, what is the disease burden, and then ICF, what is the functional burden of those diseases. We must have it, because that is exactly what you have just said. There are environmental barriers, there are knowledge barriers, that is why we are doing knowledge sharing. So what we have done, just like 20 years ago we have done that does swanky, upmarket, top of the north center can do something in India, that too in Kolkata. You understand? Yes, it is doable. 20 years sustainable. Understand? We don't squander it. You have raised it, you have learned about it, let's do.
Not available and take it up. Getting into the two, not available and take it up. Getting into the 2-tier cities may take time. But when we are talking about this multidisciplinary teams reaching the household, see, India, everybody has got a net. And now we have so many digital models through which we are reaching. In fact, NIPIT itself has the startup people sitting with me here. We have the CSANITya, in fact, that's what I say. See, at the end of the day, anything in neurodiversity, any governmental intervention, you people as professionals at least should visit the NIPIT website, follow NIPIT, follow Facebook, follow Peters, all the sort of latest intervention, latest models of care, all are available on a day-to-day basis. In fact, if you see in NIPIT Facebook, the alternate day about the e-Sanidhya, e-Disha and all these programs, everything is set up. Okay, so when we are using digital, let us go digital, and these are online interventions what we gave. All the therapeutic services are available online. So the point is, somebody sitting even in a rural village in Rajasthan also can access these services. So there's nothing depriving. Only thing is we need to explore and not just use WhatsApp for forwards, but again at the same time use it for intervention purposes also. Thank you so much.
See, this is public-private partnership happening in real life. It will happen, Yes, ma'am.
You spoke about GMA, but GMA training is so expensive. Why isn't anyone?
Training is expensive because, as Olaf has said, even they are trying to give it for free, but it's not possible to give everything for free. So high-quality training, we should spend on that instead of spending on things that are not working very well.
There's an alternative. There's Sintawai, there's Alga.
I don't mind anything that works, anything that picks up risk at birth. I have no problem with it. I am saying GM because I know about GM. I'm trained in GM. If there is a better one, I have no problem with it. You pick them up and solve the problems. That is what I want. I have got no ownership about GM. There is no interest involved in it. I don't earn anything by GM. If anything, I have lost by doing GM. That's all. But you pick up something which will, find out a child, because the technology exists. As sir is saying, so she probably have never even known about that it is available. Ab jaake dekhegi. So now there is an opportunity for her. That is why you come to conferences. You take up things that you can do something about. What is terrible is that you come to conferences and you hear a lecture and go back, and you go back to your same thing. Right? Today she will understand, okay, we are at a juncture. Something fantastic is possible in top places. But it should be possible in my place also. Let me be that person. That should be your opportunity taking for being able to come to this conference.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We'll end the question answer round now. Ma'am, you can interact with sir later.
Last one.
30 seconds.
Sir, you say that you let us done, and that is the inspiration. I am from Government Medical College, and so I want to know whether it is a scalable medical colleges or like that. So I'm
100%, and we are actually working together. Yes. Today, if you step back, you will get to know.
Yes, that's why I'm. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Now I request moderator to kindly felicitate the speaker. I request Shri Rajiv Sharma, Joint Secretary, DEPWD, Government of India, to also join us on the dais to felicitate the moderator. session which focuses on e-Sanidhya, a digital initiative aimed at strengthening the neurodiversity care ecosystem through technology-enabled support, collaboration and accessibility. To moderate this session, may I invite Dr. Shravan Reddy, sir, psychiatrist, Deputy Director, NIPIT, to kindly take the moderator's seat. It is my pleasure to invite Ms. Forum Nagori, Head CSR Program Governance and Alliances Tata Power, to deliver the session as speaker. I request the moderator to kindly take over the session.
Good afternoon, one and all. So now we are coming to our final session before valedictory function. So why we are kept this topic, it's very important for the community rehabilitation. As someone in the audience is asking, so how this collaboration can be done, particularly in the type 2, type 3 cities where there is a shortage of rehabilitation professionals. Particularly we see that many of the rehabilitation professionals are in the tier 1 or in the metro cities, tier 2, and particularly this platform will be useful for the parents and the rehabilitation professionals, and some are the frontline workers like ASHA workers and Anganwadi workers. So this neurodiversity data is on the platform, is both in a physical and online platform. So where we'll be having like screening tools, and also we are having the home-based intervention for the parents and the caregivers that Mr. Forum will be you can see in our PPT next few slides. And also you have online resource materials, for the parents and for the frontline workers. And also you have the upcoming training programs throughout the country like dance therapy, music therapies, how the intervention can be done at home. Particularly this platform will be useful for the unreached population. Most of the children with the disability, particularly those who are in the rural areas, as there is shortage of rehabilitation professionals, they cannot come to the next level cities. So those are sitting at home, and with the digital interventions, they can use this platform. And day to day, they can use this platform for the resources, for the awareness, and also for the screening. And also we are also having the videos done by the professionals, like basic inputs on the speech or occupation, or what are the symptoms of autism. So basically this agenda we are reaching at the grassroots levels, and also we are reaching throughout the country, and happy to share that this project has been done by Tata Power Community Trust in collaboration with NIPIT Secunderabad with their funding, and also till date we are using 14,000 users on this platform. So that is a very good thing that we have done within a very short duration. So now I request Ms. Forum to take over this session.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think it was so enlightening, all that I heard so far, and thank you Shravan Reddy ji, the entire NIPIT team, all the people we have created this with. So I am not a disability expert, let me start with that. I started with Sir many years ago, where we started with a round table conference to understand the systemic gaps. So our leadership, our teams at Tata Power, our board was very keen to create something which will become extendable to larger public, and something that is open access, will not get commercial at any point beyond onboarding others who may be interested to collaborate. So it will become an aggregator space, but we were keen to play a role of a collectivizing force. And this also came from our experience at Tata Power, because given our remote sites in different regions of the country, we realized कि assessment पे तो बड़ा focus रहता है, but after assessment, what are the support systems available is something that we were struggling with in most of our sites, especially जहाँ पे हमारे बहुत ही remote regions है where our renewables businesses etc. are. So we realized that while assessment is important, it is also important to give home enablers, and I'm so glad that I'm hearing a lot of home care, which was not just heard 5 years ago. So while I'm not a disability expert, I have been in the social model space for almost 2 decades now, and I have seen the evolution curve on how disability is seen. So once a very fragmented space where Mera project, Aapka project need not talk to each other. It has increasingly become a Purple Fest kind of a space, and it's very nice to see that aggregation and that collectivization coming together. but digital ka use is underrated even today. I feel that the use of digital, जैसे ही digital की बात करते हैं तो becomes easy to use, thoda sa lightness aa paye. This has been the effort and we are very open to more suggestions and feedback. This is currently being managed by the NIPID team themselves. It has been created with them, piloted for a while, enhanced and handed over to the NIPID system. And that is how this is currently run with them, but we are really open to feedback to add more to this platform. This platform is something that can be continued to be added upon. So here is the the broad this thing. So I don't know how many of you have seen our chairperson's book. So Mr. Chandra has written a very interesting book along with Ms. Rupa Purushottam. It is called The Digital Nation. If some of you are into reading, I will really recommend going through this. It's a very simple book. It talks about how systems can be scaled, and I heard scale quite a few times, but how people networks which are otherwise operating in a hyper-local basis, typically सारे लोग hyper-local basis पे काम करने लगते हैं, especially where physical care, therapy, etc. is involved. How do we connect them all? And this is the book which has inspired this model's creation, this thought process. And of course, I also was very glad to hear multidisciplinary and the fact that it is a cross-sectoral space increasingly. So that is where we come in. And I'm sure you all know the statistics. It is debatable again कि 1 in 100 है कि 1 in 63 है सर. आप ही से पूछ लेते हैं. और भी कम हो गया सर. तो हमें रिवाइज करना पड़ेगा. So this is something while again, detection is something I am not sure kitna hum detection kar rahe hain, but numbers are always to be taken with a pinch of salt, and in a country as vast as India, 2 pinches of salt. So we understand that it's growing, and that is something that is an established fact. We understand that it's growing because we see them around. So when I travel on a flight, I see neurodiverse children traveling on a flight with me. When I go to restaurants, I see neurodiverse children in restaurants. The place where I live, I have 8 neighbors who are neurodiverse. I live in a larger society with 200 families. उसमें 8 मैं personally जानती हूँ, बाकी और भी हैं. So it has become a community of neurodiverse people. So that is why I know that it is growing. First, also I knew my mother happens to be a speech therapist and a pathologist from a very small town. So I have seen, but I never saw them out there with the people like us, with people who are they're much more out there today with the so-called normal people, and that is the space which we have looked at addressing, that how do we create more such shared content is online in terms of how to do home care. So right from toileting training to training for food, how do you do the food independence, how do you do functional independence. All of this content has been shot with experts in an audiovisual simple format and is out there. More than 12 to 15 home care tutorials are available. A whole lot of web platforms are available. And this is how we are also looking at saying that what else will support at home. We had a helpline where we used to get calls, especially in vacation times of special schools, कि बच्चा घर पे है क्या करें पूरा दिन बच्चे के साथ. How do we engage in a way that the child is able to remain busy? And we said let us start with something which is going to be meaningful, and also while being meaningful gives them ease and comfort. So dance movement therapy is something we have really propagated together with the department, together with NIPID, to say that how music, dance, yoga, a lot of Indian systems can be used more meaningfully, can be used at home, can become open access. Seekhna mumkin hai. And I like the transferable skills concept that you spoke about, sir. We believe that skills are transferable. We believe that there is a whole lot of possibility of training by giving great quality content. So this is the kind of content you will see. I'll really encourage everyone to go on to eSanidhya. It's open access. It's an OTP. Right, Akanksha? It'll immediately give you a kind of a one-time password which will enable you to access both as a volunteer, as a user, as an onlooker, as a therapist. So different forms hai andar jaake wo system ko use kar paane ke. And I'll really encourage everyone to see it. But here again we learned that parents training. तो हम एक शैडो लर्निंग प्रोग्राम चलाते हैं क्योंकि पेरेंट्स ट्रेनिंग का लंबा फॉर्मेट तो वायबल नहीं है फॉर स्मॉलर सिटीज हाउ विल दे लीव देयर चाइल्ड come to a bigger city, come for a big training and go back. That's not viable. That's something we know because of our rural nature of business. And we said that, okay, then let us start with a smaller format. So while online is there, we have a 4-day shadow learning program where our parents go over and learn the basics of how to do, how to take care of their child at home from functional learning from all of these perspectives. And then that community stays alive and the community then continues to learn. So this is something that again has parents from all over the country coming in for this shadowing program. And I'm hoping to build a lot more on something like this as we go along. कि parents के लिए अपने remote region में सीखने के क्या possibilities हैं. And I believe Bijur sir was here. I don't see him here anymore. But what Parivar does. In terms of bringing parents together and doing advocacy support, but also what can we do to do upskilling of parents and connecting parents from small regions to parents in big regions. So our platform does have that feature which is yet to be leveraged of saying that can parents talk to each other through a web platform. So that's something that I think will be phenomenal. And you will be able to do so much more with that. I don't think that exists in the country today. So that's something that we do again. And I'm leaving this for you to see. These are several milestones, several people we work with. Tata Elxsi has been our partner in creating this platform. Tata Elxsi, as you all know, has an experience in health ecosystems building. And of course they do it more on a private mode, but to do it in a private public mode where we took inputs from all the several partners, the several people that we spoke with, including the NIPIT professionals and others. That is something that is a first of its kind that even Elxsi has done, and their ability to design this. Video consultations are an important feature which we are allowing. I think it is the first time in the government ecosystem, sir, where a platform has video consultations. So that's something again that we were doing together with the team there, and we promoted movies, we promoted taking this back to mainstream society in some ways. So not keeping it in the special education space alone, but keeping, kind of constantly bringing it back to the mainstream, which is where movies like Tanvi the Great and others helped us a lot. We did joint screenings. Now joint screening का मतलब ये होता है कि आपको voice decibel levels control करना है. Now interestingly, there are no rules in India which guide the theatre people on what are inclusive sound levels. Now, these are spaces which are outside the special education space. These are spaces of systems, and how ready, I think someone spoke about that, how ready our systems are to integrate. And then we worked with the PVR Foundation, the PVR teams, to say that what are those noise sound levels. छोटी सी research करनी पड़ी उस पे कि कैसे होता है. But then all of us will be better off with a little lower sound volume. And after that I also speak a little softly. So, it helps to all of us be a little more inclusive. It's better for everyone, including us and the neurodiverse. So, this is some of the experiences. Of course, we work with a whole lot of our Tata Group companies, and the ethos of volunteering at the Tata Group, so much that can be done by experts who can pro bono lend their skills. तो ये CSR जब तक एक्ट नहीं बना था तो हम ऐसे ही काम करते थे. इतना सारा voluntary काम, इतना high quality voluntary काम हुआ है. But of course now CSR is seen as checks and money. But I choose to believe that we can still do more through volunteering. And this is the power of volunteering. So just getting experts, getting people who know how to run great websites, great interactivity, easy tools, where will you get better than in industry? How can we use more of them? This is how Esanadya looks. Encourage you to land in, and I remember Dr. Ram and others giving us feedback on how to make sure that we don't lead into privatization of this kind of a platform, because we have a whole lot of collaborators on this. There are many service providers. There's a purple directory with the help of Secretary DPWD. Then we have been able to actually work with something which brings all the systems together. So the purple directory has 500 plus kind of resources in different regions of the country put together, and it of course stands the risk of someone trying to make money from this. So to keep that between public-private partnerships as a hygiene, that when we create something as an open access platform, how do we ensure that till the time a certain ecosystem is stabilized, it remains like that, so that no other vested interests come in. And that's a very important learning that we have had while doing this process. This is what we are bridging. I think I spoke about it, that we are looking at bridging gaps in terms of regions, gaps in terms of availability of special experts. And we cannot magically bring experts into all the regions of the country. I myself come from a very small town, and I know that आज भी हमारे उधर Turkey है, remote parts of Gujarat, remote parts of Rajasthan, all of that. So this is again, the Sanidhya journey in terms of prototyping done, a whole lot of trials, whole lot of consultations. We talk not just to special educators and special experts, we also talk to others like parents, others who are into creating, like say for example, dance movement as a course sits in Mumbai University also, sits in Tata Institute of Social Sciences also, but they are longer courses, 18 months courses, 16 months courses. We consulted and figured, इसमें कितने parents आ पाएंगे? So then we said, let us go phygital, let us go as Bridgital as possible, so back to Bridgital Nation. Yeah. So these are some of the learnings. You see all of the people here who have been big contributors, big co-creators of this whole work. This is many people's baby. So testing phase and refining was one of the biggest learnings. बहुत सारी चीजें हम सीखे कि technology and human technology and then humane technology में कैसे evolve करते रहना है. So it was a huge learning. I will leave you all to peacefully read the quotes. Ram sir is here, Mr. Himal Tiwari, who has been a very big cheerleader for this program. So Tata Review is a magazine, a kind of an internal thing which we publish in Tata Group, and it's a kind of a magazine which talks about pushing new age ideas, thought processes, learnings, and which is where this is featured. It again goes to all the Tata Group companies. So should we play the video? This is how you can access eSanidhya. It's a short video.
पहले google.com पर जाएं और सर्च बार में टाइप करें eSanidhya. सर्च रिजल्ट्स में आए eSanidhya के ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट पे क्लिक करें. eSanidhya का पोर्टल कुछ ऐसे दिखेगा. eSanidhya एक ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म है जो न्यूरोडाइवर्स इंडिविजुअल्स और केयर गिवर्स को रिसोर्सेज, थेरेपी और एक्सपर्ट वीडियो कंसल्टेशन से जोड़ता है. ये प्लेटफॉर्म टाटा पावर कम्युनिटी डेवलपमेंट ट्रस्ट ने बनाया है नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट फॉर द एम्पावरमेंट ऑफ पर्सन्स विद इंटेलेक्चुअल डिसेबिलिटीज के साथ मिलकर. ये इनिशिएटिव डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एम्पावरमेंट ऑफ पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटीज और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस एंड एम्पावरमेंट के सपोर्ट से तैयार हुआ है, जिसमें देश भर के एक्सपर्ट्स ने अपना योगदान दिया है. ऊपर राइट कॉर्नर पे दिए गए साइन अप फॉर फ्री बटन पे क्लिक करें। आपके स्क्रीन पर एक पॉपअप विंडो खुलेगी। बस अपनी कैटेगरी चुन लीजिए ताकि प्लेटफॉर्म आपके लिए कंटेंट को पर्सनलाइज कर सके। पेरेंट, केयर प्रोवाइडर या फिर मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी प्रोफेशनल। केयर प्रोवाइडर ऑप्शन चुनने से आपके सामने एक साइन अप फॉर्म खुलेगा जहां आपको अपनी बेसिक जानकारी भरनी है। अकाउंट बन जाने के बाद डैशबोर्ड पे लॉगिन करने के लिए अपना रजिस्टर्ड मोबाइल नंबर और पासवर्ड दें। मोबाइल पर आया हुआ ओटीपी डालिए और वेरीफाई बटन पे क्लिक कीजिए। लॉगिन के बाद आपका डैशबोर्ड खुल जाता है। यहाँ से आप अपॉइंटमेंट्स चेक कर सकते हैं और ऐड न्यू पेरेंट पे क्लिक करके नया प्रोफाइल बना सकते हैं। सिर्फ बेसिक डिटेल्स डालिए, ओटीपी वेरीफाई कीजिए और पेरेंट का अकाउंट बन जाता है। कुछ उसी तरह ऐड चाइल्ड पे क्लिक करके बच्चे की डिटेल्स भरिए और सेव कीजिए। पेरेंट, चाइल्ड और केयर प्रोवाइडर सब एक ही फॉर्म में सेव हो जाते हैं। डिटेल्स सेव हो गई। अब असेसमेंट स्टार्ट कीजिए। असेसमेंट स्टार्ट करते वक्त 3 चॉइसेस मिलती हैं, रिस्क, माइलस्टोन या स्मार्ट चेक। हर असेसमेंट में सवालों की संख्या बच्चे की एज ग्रुप के हिसाब से बदलती है ताकि रिजल्ट और सही आए। रिस्क असेसमेंट 6 महीने से 15 साल के बच्चों के लिए होता है। ये चेक करता है कि बच्चा ऑटिज्म, ADHD एवं अन्य डिसऑर्डर्स के रिस्क में है या नहीं। माइलस्टोन असेसमेंट बच्चों के विकास के क्षेत्रों में जैसे बोलना, चलना, सोचना और समझने की स्किल्स को स्टडी करता है, जहां सपोर्ट की जरूरत हो सकती है। स्मार्ट असेसमेंट जन्म से 5 साल तक के बच्चों के लिए होता है। ये उनके अर्ली डेवलपमेंट का पूरा तस्वीर देता है और किसी भी डिले को पहचानने में मदद करता है। असेसमेंट टाइप सिलेक्ट करके स्टार्ट असेसमेंट पे क्लिक कीजिए। यहाँ कुछ सिंपल क्वेश्चंस मिलते हैं, जैसे क्या बच्चा खुद से बैठ सकता है, क्या वो बॉल किक कर सकता है या कभी खुद को चोट पहुंचाता है। बस हर सवाल का आंसर चूज करके नेक्स्ट करते जाए। रिजल्ट स्क्रीन पर रिस्क परसेंटेज और रिकमेंडेशन दिखाई देता है। रिजल्ट मिलने के बाद अगर आप कंसल्ट करना चाहें तो बस बुक एन अपॉइंटमेंट फॉर वीडियो कंसल्टेशन पे क्लिक कीजिए। अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करना सिंपल है। डेट, डॉक्टर और टाइम चूज कीजिए और फ्री वीडियो कंसल्टेशन कंफर्म हो जाता है। असेसमेंट के बाद भी आपके सपोर्ट के लिए ई सानिध्य के होम पेज पर कई ऑप्शंस हैं। वीडियो कॉल से कंसल्टेशन, ऑनलाइन टेस्ट्स, थेरेपी सेशंस और होम केयर लर्निंग वीडियोस, सब कुछ एक ही जगह। साथ ही आप आने वाले ऑनलाइन वेबिनार्स में भी फ्री में रजिस्टर कर सकते हैं। कम्युनिटी सेक्शन में आप अपनी बात शेयर कर सकते हैं। ई सानिध्य में हर सवाल का जवाब मिलता है। ई सानिध्य ज्वाइन कीजिए, सीखिए और बढ़िए एक इंक्लूसिव भारत की तरफ।
Thank you. A lot more journey to be covered, but I must acknowledge the NIPID teams which are actually taking these video consultation calls. तो सारे जो स्टाफ है, सारे जो रिसर्च स्टूडेंट्स हैं, इनके साथ में जितने लोग जुड़े हैं are the side which is actually servicing. So you're getting the best of the quality, the professionals which are doing this work, and I think a lot of volunteers are invited there. हमारे पास काफ़ी लोग हैं जो साइन अप कर सकते हैं to be on the other side of the video consultation. So all your special educators here, if you all can give time for public work, we'll be most happy to onboard. There's a system to do that, right? Akanksha is the person who runs this program. So we have the रिस्क असेसमेंट वगैरह, तो बहुत सारे इसमें भी नंबर्स हैं, तो आई तो ऑलवेज टेक नंबर्स विद 2 pinches ऑफ सॉल्ट, बट आई विल स्टिल शो यू दिस कि हम काफ़ी लोगों के साथ काम कर चुके हैं. वी हैव बीन पायलटिंग and we have a whole lot of people taking these assessments. The beautiful part is कि OPD में, as a part of what NIPID group does, they are using this. So it is very well integrated into the system. Another tenet that we hold at Tata Group कि हम तो system नहीं बन सकते, but we are only enabling the system. How we can add value to the system and continue to add value. So this is how a lot of people are using this, and there is a lot of footfall on the platform. This platform is underutilized according to me. I think this platform has the capacity and potential to add a whole lot of layers of content, layers of layers of utilities, services, thought processes, research, layers of surveying people and getting things, layers of more interesting content like movies, games, etc. तो बहुत scope है इसके अंदर अभी. Child age risk-wise assessment data, you see till the age of 15. So a whole lot of trends which are coming up. Referral होता है इसके बाद, तो assessment लेने के बाद they would go to the nearest available facility along with, of course, all the home care enablers that the caregivers get. So this is how, some of the features look inside. I'll encourage you to look in. Home care has been the focus from day one. So we have a whole lot of content which is available, including nutrition, कैसे बनाना उसको, तो छोटे छोटे रेसिपी सेशंस हैं, उसके बाद फॉलो थ्रूज हैं, वेबिनार्स होती हैं, and we go and cross pollinate this across the government platforms and other platforms we see. So ये डांस मूवमेंट है तो ऑनलाइन भी है, तो आप चालू करके वो ट्यूटोरियल है, you can start it on a TV and you can dance in front of it. You can also go for a longer program. We are building a dance movement therapy course. ये भी play कर सकते हैं link. Thank you, Rahul ji. So this is again our belief that a lot can be accomplished with unconventional, simple, learnable therapies.
Which helps in integration of the mind, the cognition, the body.
I heard about it, I read about it in magazines and things like that, and I wanted to do it.
Learning here on when we are making a course, we were invited to make a course together, build a module together with the SCPWD and the lipid teams, DPW teams. We are co-creating this. We realized that ये course module को हम कैसे, again, not just for PWDs but for everyone, so that together they learn. It is not easy. It is an idealistic, far-flung reach, but I believe it's possible. And if that happens, तो दोनों एक दूसरे को अपने आप से जान जाएंगे, समझ जाएंगे. साथ में जब dances होते हैं, तो if you notice, none of our dances are alone. It is with the all together. So ये shared spaces वाला philosophy dance movement therapy के creation में है. And soon we will have our course ready. So we have a whole lot of experts who are creating this together with us. We are holding the space in a multidisciplinary way. That's our role. And in a way that makes it more accessible, more inclusive, open to parents, easy, and if I may say, less rigorous, so that it becomes possible for all. to do it and to do it together. So, course again, National Olympics Association of India is a partner we work with, where skills competition youth के साथ जो youth हमारे बाहर जाके internationally represent करते हैं इंडिया को, so a whole lot of trades there are again determined by what internationally is relevant, but there are many India specific trades, and I was very happy to hear functionality or global functionality kind of stuff. So functionality linked trades, even from flower arrangements that you see here to pottery to several other such trades, are part of what we have been pushing for as what should go out there in the world, and a whole lot of training and work along with the parents groups. I was speaking about Parivar, a whole lot of special schools in Bombay and pioneers like SRCC and several others who have been part of this. Yes. So again, ecosystem with many contributors, many thought processes. I would like to again keep this here, that these are some of the learnings, a lot more work to be done. Language, I am aware that we require regional languages and there's no end to regional languages, but today your AI and several other things can give us a lot of translations on the same platform, so we're looking at that kind of enhancements. But how digitization can be of use and meaningful humane digitization is something we are very keen to work further on. Anything else? ये तो सब ठीक है, ये आज है कल नहीं है ऐसी वाली कहानी है तो so some of the coverage, I'm sure you'll see all of this. This we are very proud of, that it is many people's children, and I hope more kids keep getting delivered through this ecosystem. So thank you so much. एक मिनट का मुनाफा. Thank you, sir. आपके साथ काम करके थोड़ा सीख रहे हैं.
Thank you, madam, for such a wonderful and enlightening presentation. And also you clearly explained the challenges, how we can address, particularly in the area of neurodiversity and the shortage of rehabilitation professionals, and how can we can reach the larger population rate and OTP. Just you can go through the website. And also not only the intervention and the screening part, you get a lot of information about the ministry schemes, benefits, how to do UDID card, what is Niramaya scheme, what are the health insurances from the ministry. So this is not just a platform only from a screening angle. So it's a holistic life cycle approach what we are covering, from screening, early identification and intervention, and also skill training, vocational, and also the awareness on the schemes and benefits. Thank you, madam, for such a wonderful presentation. Now open for questions.
Thank you, sir. Questions, suggestions, voluntary inputs, कि मैं ये कोर्स दे दूंगी, इसमें लगाने के लिए दे दूंगा, ऐसे वाला प्लीज. Can I pass on?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Here. Can I ask a question to you? First of all, myself Rishikesh. I am working in CDIC as a rehabilitation psychologist. So this is wonderful app for us, because when parents come to us, they have many concerns, like they cannot come to us regularly, very frequently. So they want consultation on home basis. So my question is, are you planning to connect all DAIC and CDIC in that panel? Like if we are working in this field, if we are working with the children with special needs, so whenever a child comes to us, there are 2 points, as we discussed earlier in our session, that home visit is very crucial for us. If the client cannot come to us, we should go to them. If a client is not comfortable on video consultation, and like he is not able to comprehend his problem, so our DIC team can visit them. Yeah, and our team can encourage them for the therapy plans. And secondly, like we work in CDIC, this is very useful information to empower us, like to enhance our knowledge. So we can connect our professionals on one platform also. So it is very beneficial.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I will
request answer.
See, actually, we always recommend the first assessment has to be in person, because it's not just, you can't really make a great and good assessment without actually looking at the kid. But it is more useful for follow-ups, because you have a detailed investment and the professional already knows, and you also know which all category of intervention what is required. So it is very important that first assessment, as much as possible, people, in fact, if the parents say, the reason why in remote areas the problem is CDICs are there are CRCs are there are other organizations also. So as comes to follow-up, yes, they can be certainly done. And if you want, your first question was whether we can use this data to go there. Yeah, you register there, they'll ask for you. Okay, then based on the information, then you can be one-on-one with them. They can fix an appointment. See, the point is, they have to fix an appointment, right? If they choose you as your, suppose, they won't want to fix an appointment in Hyderabad sitting in Rajasthan or say in Jammu and Kashmir. So the next immediate closer place they will choose. That is the idea about it. Once they fix an appointment, then it is one-on-one between you, whether you want to give it home-based or you want to give it online or whatever it is. So that can be done, right? And there is nothing stopping anyone. You see, like you can be from SEDIC, you can be a private practitioner, everybody can register. But the only issue, as what Furanji has said, is a couple of people are trying to make money out of this. Use our platform for giving online assessments and then asking them money. See, such people will certainly blacklist them from the site. Okay, because at the end of the day, it is a free of cost, and there are a lot of people who wanting to volunteer. In fact, today itself I met so many people who would like to volunteer, who want to make a difference. Okay, I believe I answered your question.
एक जो था कि प्रोफेशनल सारे जो स्पेशल उसमें है वो ये प्लेटफॉर्म में रजिस्टर हो जाए. So maybe if you all want, we could also create a thing which says कि professionals have a kind of a cohort. All special educators are on one platform.
And our professionals who have registered, we will verify their documents. Okay, their RCA number, and who is willing to give only voluntary services, we are taking them.
That could be thing which will also support the platform to multiply. Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, I want to Acharya.
Yes.
So we've been talking on the early intervention, schools and everything. Well, this may be a little out of the context, but schools, the disability acts are there, and there are a lot of concessions given for the persons with disabilities. However, even though the schools would call inclusive education, there are right to education, but none of those concessions are implemented at the school level. And when I worked in the school in Reliance in Jamnagar as head of the special department, there I was able to implement. I was given a free hand. So right from grade 1 onwards, the papers of testings or whatever, somewhere oral, somewhere written. So we were able to set it for the purpose or the capacity of the children. But in cities like Mumbai, we are not able to do this. So build this platform. Because when the schools have a special ed department, the children have a pull-out program. So the children go from the class to the special educator. They learn at their level. They are again put back into the class which is at a different level. And they are also pulled out during periods which they would love to enjoy, like library period and music period and dance period, they are pulled out. So even where they would love to be there, they are not there. And they are not really gaining anything in the classroom. So will this platform help to bridge that gap where in the school anyway they are being able to offer only for one period, but in between will it help that the parent can help the child every day at home to reach that level when a sir is talking about nobody needs to go to special school, they can be inclusive. Then it is inclusive. Yeah, it is inclusive in the real sense. Because when we talk homeschooling cannot happen, we are talking about social skills area, so functional skill area. So this is what I found that in a very remote city place like Jamnagar I was able to do, Rajkot I was able to do, but not in Mumbai. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, so we hear you and we've made note. We will work with the NIPIT teams to see how this can have content which can become supplementary support systems for such schools. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Forum Nagori, for presenting an innovative and technology-driven model to support neurodiversity care. I request moderator to felicitate the speaker. I now request Mr. Pankaj Kumar Singh from Tata, Chief Community Impact, Generation, Transmission and Distribution and Renewables, to kindly join us on the dais and felicitate the moderator. With this, we come to the end of today's proceedings. We will have a break for tea now. Later. Okay, let's finish with the concluding ceremony.
Yes. Very good afternoon. Actually, I'd like to take this 1 minute while they're arranging it. See, if you look at it, this is one of the most fast-changing fields now. Okay, and we, especially in the neurodiversity, a lot is happening. One of the most neglected and marginalized community is the neurodiversity. And now a lot is happening. Actually, a lot of stakeholders are coming and partnering. And NIPID itself has been partnering with various organizations. So what is very important is we have to keep abreast as to what is happening in the field. And one of the biggest pains of the neurodiversity is the lack of awareness. And awareness is obviously through the sort of print media, or the sort of awareness is very costly and it's not doable also. So we have been taking a lot of efforts in actually reaching out to the whole community, not only here. In fact, I'm at times amazed to see foreign countries actually reaching out, looking into our websites, asking us to collaborate, asking us to train their people. I'm getting calls from Oman, I'm getting calls from Morocco, I'm getting calls from Bhutan and other countries and all. Whereas I sometimes feel very disillusioned actually seeing my own countrymen not being able to reach to NIPID. See, the point is, I would request all of you people as professionals working in this area, just all that you can do is follow NIPID, okay, and see what is happening. Not just the conferences, workshops, parental training programs, we have group therapy programs, we have a lot of, CRE programs, and also we do a lot of, and nowadays many of you must be knowing about the NIPID Disha. We have been doing a lot of workshops on e-Sanidhya, and now we are working with CDAC and developing an e-Disha, which is actually a comprehensive. It actually has all the NIPID tools. And you also would like to know that NIPID has been developing the SLD tools, which is in the final stages. Maybe it will be, come out with the approval of the government shortly. We'll also come up with our own adaptive behavior test, NIPID Indian test of intelligence. So the point is, a lot is happening and the field is changing at a very fast pace. What is important is if people just keep abreast, just visit the NIPID website, and more than the website, visiting all the time, just follow the Facebook. Most of us are on Facebook for very long, or Twitter, wherever we are. Just follow and just you'll get automatically all the updates. You need not make even an effort there. So this is just an appeal so that the efforts of the government are actually sort of used by everyone. And secondly, another important aspect is nobody should be sort of duplicating the efforts. We have done something, why again duplicate an effort?
You take it forward from there if you can do something. Like you see, there is another, I told you about Nipet Disha. Then actually we have now entered into a partnership with an IIT graduate, where we are developing a assessment and intervention tool for SLE, because our SLE test will be coming out. They are the first partners with whom we have actually entered in MOU, where we'll be giving them our test. Okay, because you see, any online test, the biggest challenge is using approved and validated tools. Suppose you are trying to develop an online tool, can you use Whisk there? Can you use VSMS there? They will not give you permission. You will have a lot of issues with the copyrights and those things. But with Nipet, whenever anybody is partnering, what we are doing is Government of India gazetted and approved tests and tools which we ourselves have done, and which we are the patent holders, the copyright holders. We are actually giving them. So there are very many advantages of this. One is you are using approved tools and tools which are relevant to the country. Number 3, the cost is so less. How many people know about the Whisk test? What is the cost about it? 1,40,000. And what is the Nipet test? 8,000. Okay, and Whisk, if you are using every time when you do an assessment form, you have to buy the form. Otherwise, if you are photocopying, you are doing an unethical or immoral act. Copyright violation is there. Whereas we are giving it free. In fact, somebody mentioned about the Pimpli Chinchilwadi organization. They said they were asking, sir, can we read? I said, you're most welcome, do it. Because we are not out here to make money at the cost of our, people who are working there. We are here to facilitate, and that is what the Government of India wants to do. Alright? So just network with us, keep in touch with us. A lot of programs are going on. Nipet Disha, actually the curriculum, how many of you are special educators? I don't know. Nipet Disha we have been doing very extensively, and till now what we have been doing is we have been doing programs with the state governments. Now we'll open up to individual professionals also and schools also. And if anybody wants about it, put in a word, in a website there is something like feedback form or something. You can, throw in a letter there, or you can write a mail directly to the director. Okay? We will certainly respond, and let's all work together. Let's all leverage the sort of facilities, the infrastructure, especially the digital infrastructure what we have created, so that we can put the maximum use for the empowerment of persons with disabilities. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. As we come close to this enriching 2-day international conference on recent advances in early intervention, a disability perspective, jointly organized by Nipet Secunderabad, Ali Yavarjan National Institute of Speech Hearing Disabilities, Mumbai, under the aegis of the Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Government of India, hosted at IIT Bombay. It is truly a moment of reflection, gratitude, and celebration. Over the past 2 years, this platform has been alive with ideas, insights, dialogue, and deep learning. The conference has been a remarkable journey of knowledge sharing, collaboration, and professional growth. With these reflections, we now formally begin the valedictory function or ceremony for the conference. Now I kindly invite our respected dignitaries to join us on the dais.
Now I request our Joint Secretary Rajesh Sharma to come on to the dais along with our Commissioner of Persons with Disabilities, Sri Govindraj sir. And also I welcome Dr. B.V. Ramkumar, Director NIPIT, and I also welcome Dr. Suman Kumar, Director AYJ NHHS. And also I welcome Dr. I also welcome Sri Pankaj Kumar Singh, Chief Community from Tata, Impact Generation, Transmission and Distribution Renewables. First, we'll have the signing of MOUs between NIPIT Secunderabad and Skill IQ Kolkata. I request Dr. Anjan Bhattacharya sir and then his team to come on to the dais. NIPIT will be signing an MOU between the Skill IQ Education Trust Kolkata to strengthen framework for academic, clinical and research collaboration for the early identification, intervention and management of for children with special needs across the country. Now I request Sri Raju Sharma sir, Joint Secretary, DEPWD, Government of India to deliver the valedictory address.
Namaskar, Divya Sajano. Now this 2 days international conference is coming to an end. It started yesterday morning and today evening we are coming to the conclusion of this conference. This was conceived by me about 3 months back, and realizing the fact that early intervention is the key to solving all the problems which the disability sector is facing in the country. Till now the thought has been that the early intervention is one of the components of the entire domain of rehabilitation. But today the eye-opener fact is that early intervention is the very base, it's the very foundation on which the entire gamut of rehabilitation is based. If we are able to do early intervention as early as possible and as effectively as possible, in that case we shall be able to do away with many of the requirements of the rehabilitation. That means the efforts which are made early are going to pay us in terms of efficacy of those efforts. Later on, to address the same problems, we need to invest 10 times more efforts, 10 times more energy, 10 times more money. So that is the beauty of early intervention. And the success of early intervention lies in the fact that we should be able to say that early intervention has been done very successfully only when after a period of maybe 1 or 2 decades the adult population is no longer needing any rehabilitation services. If that stage is acquired by our country, then we can say yes, early intervention was implemented successfully. This early intervention conference, it was organized by Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities. We have 9 national institutes, out of which, because of the geographical proximity of institutes with the city of Mumbai, we gave the responsibility of logistic arrangements to NIPIT Secunderabad, who have their regional center at Mumbai, and AYJ, National Institute for Hearing and Speech. Why I am saying this fact is that all the participants should note that various disciplines which are involved in rehab practices, be it physiotherapy, be it occupational therapy, be it rehab or clinical psychology or audiometry or ophthalmology, all the disciplines need to be put to use, and all the friends, the non-governmental individuals, the non-governmental organizations who are working in this direction should join hands with all the national institutes depending upon the specialties of the NGO or NGI concerned. Those who are working, those who are good at ophthalmology, those who are good at audiometry, those who are good at physiotherapy, occupational therapy, they should find a common ground with one or the other of the national institutes of the department. That is number one. Number two, as I said in my as I said in my keynote speech yesterday morning, and I am reiterating it, rather this can be considered as a pronouncement or a proclamation, that this department is about to start its mega effort in compiling the ethnic knowledge which is present with the parents, with the grandparents of this country, and that repository of the knowledge, that compilation of the knowledge once prepared shall be put to use in a documented form for the sake of benefit of the children with disability and ultimately for the benefit of persons with disability. Having said this, I should congratulate all the participants, all the presenters, be it those who are present in hall A or B or C. They have really prepared hard, they have really worked hard, they have really prepared well, and I must say that on the presentations made over here, the efforts being generated on those presentations, those efforts, those hard works are not going to go in vain. We are there to put to use the crux of the knowledge which has emerged out of these brainstorming sessions, these hot discussions. We are going to put to use these knowledge banks, and these knowledge banks will be shared with about 28 early intervention centers which have been established by the department till now in the country. Not only that, in the coming years, the early intervention centers of the department are going to increase as far as their number is concerned, as far as their geographical footprint is concerned. That is going to increase. So, and in this mammoth effort of compiling the traditional knowledge which is right now at the disposal of our honorable parents and honorable grandparents, we will take the help of all those who are present over here and also all those who could not be present over here. So this early intervention conference shall not be seen as a end point or as a destination of a journey, rather it is a starting point of our journey, because it has given us certain concrete ideas that these are the notions X, Y and Z which are no longer the abstract notions, rather these are the doable practices which have been put to use successfully for the amelioration of living conditions of the children with disability. So very soon you will see many of the ideas shared in this meeting being put to use. Very soon you will see, and very soon you will also see most of you being put to use by us in a respectful, in a collective manner to that task of compilation of traditional knowledge present with the parents and grandparents of the country in an undocumented form. Let us compile it, let us document it, and let us show to the world in real sense that yes, India is indeed a Vishwaguru, not only in other aspects of life but also in the disability rehabilitation, also in the early intervention. I am sure my friends must have worked hard, they have been working hard. The NIPIT team led by Major Ramkumar, the AYJ team led by Dr. Suman, both have been working very hard, and I am sure by now they must have come across certain results of presentations, some to be awarded, etc. Yeah, final. But for me, everybody who has made a presentation is a winner. Okay, for the sake of customary practices, we do have to award somebody as best, second best and third best presenter. Even if somebody has not made a presentation, your patient listening, your interaction, your question answer with the presenters, all of them have enriched the discussions. So I am thankful on that account to all of you, and I wish that since whosoever has been the participant of this conference, I believe that Ramkumar, I believe that we have the contact details of all those persons who have participated. Yeah. So in near future also, with the belief that we are the partners in the journey towards rehabilitation of persons with disabilities. With that belief, with that assumption, we shall be giving you some homework every now and then, and we believe that you shall be coming forth with your full response, as has been the case during this conference. Okay? So I believe that, I'm not making a false assumption. My trust on you shall not be belied in the coming days. So with these words, without consuming much time, I thank all of you, and we shall be organizing, see, the field disciplines are many, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, etc. But this theme of early intervention was a cross-cutting theme, because this early intervention implies utilization of all these disciplines, either collectively or parallelly or in sequence, but all of them are being put to use. We shall be organizing certain conferences, meaningful conferences with a purpose on similar cross-cutting themes at regular intervals, and we expect then also at those conferences will be at some different locations, maybe responsibility will be given to some other NI depending upon the geography concerned, and on all such future occasions we expect similar wholehearted participation. Thank you one and all. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I invite Shri S. Govindaraj, sir, Commissioner for Persons with Disability, to please speak a few words.
Very good evening, one and all. Thanks for giving yet another opportunity to share my views over this eminent event. Really, as I heard, several great initiatives have been proposed or initiated or expressed about its existence. Really, I felt very happy, and I'm also wish to be a part of it to the extent possible. As we think, a lot of research and scientific advancements are required to achieve, as someone desired, zero disability or zero special schools, right? So those could be a desirable state, but in my point of view, definitely that will exist, but we should be able to enable them not to feel their disability. That is the role of science and our tradition, right? See, I believe, as we believe in scientific advancements, contribution, the richness lie with the traditional values also, right? We can compare as Lord Vishnu and Brahma tried to see the depth and height of Lord Shiva's, right? Taking different forms. Likewise, this both the traditional analysis and scientific advancement always should travel forever for the betterment of this community, I hope. So likewise, so both are doing as well good to the society, and this international conference is one among the exemplary event of such kind. So such as our Joint Secretary Sir has mentioned, we require a knowledge reservoir, right, of the past and the advancement for the benefit of future generation and the contemporaries. Of course, I acknowledge and I invite his great effort, and that should come through. That is possible when the directors like Ram Kumar ji and Suman ji and many other national institutes counterparts are very keen and concerned about the development of Divyang friends and families. with this note, I would like to conclude. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful words. Now I request Sri Pankaj Kumar Singh, Chief of Community Impact, Generation Transmission and Distribution and Renewables. Sir, we kindly request you to speak a few words.
So, dear participant, and so I am from the Tata Power, and the forum already communicated about what we have done to our Tata Power and group ethos for this autisms and neurodiversity work. So our Tata Power business is growing to different region, and we are covering around the 121 districts, around the 21 states in India. So our CSR philosophy is governed through our Tata Power policy. So we are working and we are going for penetrate to the CSR related activity and going to each one of the family to detect any type of any disability, so we can also provide. And we have so many NGO partner in the different region. So we organize the various session and the various type of the community connect with the local stakeholders in this our CSR space. We thank to invite to NIPIT Secunderabad and Major Ram Kumar and Dr. Ravi Prakash so for this conference, and I think all the participants presented very well and various aspects of the theme of which is given in this international conference. So in Tata Power, I ensure that we will continue to work together with the NIPIT team for further co-creation with the various aspects into the large space covering into the neurodiversity space. So we are also going with the business going into the Bhutan. So we also look forward to the association with the NIPIT team to the going for the Bhutan for the any type of the space with the Tata Power CSR space into the region. And it is conclude, and thanks to everyone to participate, and we acknowledge our gratitude to the NIPIT and Ministry of Person and Disability for the inviting as a corporate Tata Power team to participate in this session. Thank you.
Now we move to one of the most awaited moments of this ceremony, the announcement of winners of paper and poster presentations. Now I request Shri Rajiv Sharma Ji, Joint Secretary, DEPWD Government of India, to present prizes for paper distribution, professional category. The first position goes to Vaishali B. Pai for the topic Proof of Concept Caregiver Engagement in Adapted Early Intervention Programs for Children with Moderate to Severe Developmental Disability. Vaishali B. Pai. The second position goes to Shilpi Jain for the topic Enriching Participation of Children with Intellectual Disability through the F words of Child Development, Fun, Fitness and Friends. Give a big round of applause. For the category Student for Oral Presentation, the first position goes to Muskan Kaul for the topic Reframing Participation and Integrated Occupational Therapy Approach, a Case Report. Muskan Kaul. The second position goes to Ananya Bhatnagar for the topic Advancing Family-Centered Early Intervention for Intellectual Disability, Perspective of Indian Special Education.
We are announcing.
All the prize givers are kindly requested to give your bank account details to Mr. Ambari sir, so that you can receive your prize money.
You have to get in touch with them, huh?
The next category is poster presentations. The first position goes to Prerna Patra for evolution of a parent-mediator early intervention program for children with autism pre, during and post-pandemic.
Okay, जो आगे
Thank you.
Prerna Patra. First position in the category professional for oral presentations, Vaishali B. Pai. Vaishali.
कितना अंदर चला गया
Poster presentation category. The second position goes to Musina K, Sudhanshu Pandav, Nivedita Singh and Soumya for the topic Evidence-Based Strategies for Improving Mathematical Competency Among Children with Learning Problems in Elementary Grades, a Narrative Review. We also have consolation prizes for the poster presentation category who will be getting appreciation certificates. The consolation prizes goes to Kiran S and Karthikeyan K for the topic Early Childhood Screen Overuse, Behavioral Symptoms and Intervention Based Recommendations. S. Kiran and Karthikeyan K. The second consolation prize goes to Himanshi Raghani for the topic Telehealth in Pediatric Occupational Therapy, a narrative review on family-centered early intervention. Himanshi Raghani.
ഇതിന്റെ ആണെന്ന് എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലായിട്ടില്ല.
Once again, hearty congratulations to all the awardees and appreciation to all the participants who have given their best and their excellent contributions for this conference. Big round of applause for the participants. Now we move on to the vote of thanks. I request Dr. Suman Kumar, Director AYJNISHD Divyangjan, to please kindly present the vote of thanks.
Good evening, one and all. Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. I am here to propose a vote of thanks for this 2 days program, which was envisaged under the guidance of our Joint Secretary Sir Rajiv Sharma sir from the inception to now, Vinith sir, and today we are privileged to have Sri S. Govindraj sir, Commissioner for Persons with Disability with us. So I thank you sir on behalf of Alia Awajang National Institute of Speech and Hearing Disability and NIPI for gracing the occasion. And we have a resource person from India and abroad, and I'm happy to share that within 45 days, Ram Kumar sir could manage to get resource person from 6 countries apart from the resource person from India. And this conference would not have been possible without the support of our CSR partner, Tata Power. We have Sanjay sir here. Then UNICEF, we had another Sanjay sir from the UNICEF. So I thank you from the organizing team for your generous support. And this venue and this conference and all the facilities, whatever you are seeing in all the 3 halls, was possible because of IDC, IIT Bombay. So I am thankful to IDC, IIT Bombay, their staff, head of the department, Ravi Povey sir, Mr. Chetan, and other staff for their support throughout the conference. We had Gujur sir from Parivar who has been supportive for all the events which we conduct. Apart from that, we have wonderful participants. I think we have about 520 participants which are registered for this conference, apart from many of who have not registered, being the organizer or whatever. So we will cross almost 550 participants for these 2 conferences, and getting these to 550 participants in 45 days is not so easy, but we could make it, and we are really thankful for all of you for having a patience listening as well as participating in all the 3 halls patiently. We have media partners as well as hospitality who have served us food and tea for last 2 days. So I must thank them for their wonderful food, tasty food for them also. We have volunteers. Without volunteers, it was not possible for many of you to enter in this campus because it is full of security. We need to have a QR code to enter in these premises, and they were there right from the gate till the venue, whether it is PC Saxena or Hall B or Hall C. So a big thank you to all the volunteers and all our staff from NIPID and NIHH for their support. So, and we hope to see you again, as sir has directed us to do it in other discipline. We'll be again having similar kind of events, not in Bombay, with some other places, because of our diverse nature of location and disability. So thank you all. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
Good evening, one and all. Happy to share from NIPID in collaboration with DEPWD and AMTZ. We are also organizing one national conference on specific learning disabilities in the month of February. The dates have not been finalized, mostly in the 3rd week of February. So we request everyone to join for this conference and make a huge success. Thank you.
Shravan, NIPID does not collaborate with DPWD. NIPID is an organ of DPWD. Okay? So it may collaborate with AMTZ but not with DPWD. It's a part of us all. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. With this, we come to the conclusion of the valedictory session and to the successful 2-day international conference on recent advances in early intervention, a disability perspective. This is Shrikruti Chilkamari signing off. May I now request everyone to please rise for the national anthem. Thank you.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ
Tea and cookies have been arranged outside for you. Please have them and you can sign off.